I'm light years, call me eons. When the snare kick in, the beat is neon. Lights, yeah, I'm feeling magnificent.
What's up, amigos? It's the Prodigy Maker Minute with yours truly, Chris Lewitt. As you may know, I'm the former #1 for Cornell University, pro circuit player, elite junior development coach, and author and educator, author of The Secrets of Spanish Tennis and the Tennis Technique Bible. We've been talking a lot about Spanish philosophy and going through some of the wisdom of some of the greats of Spanish coaching. And I want to talk a little bit about William Pato Alvarez, the legend. Rest in peace, Pato Alvarez. You know, Pato, his nickname was the Duck. And his players used to call him the Panther. It's kind of confusing because he's Pato, but he's also the Panther. His players affectionately called him the Panther. I'm not sure why they called him the Panther. But, you know, Pato was this, larger than life, genius coach from Spain. It reminds me of kind of like a Bollettieri. Like, I never even thought Bollettieri could actually die because he's such a larger than life, like superhuman figure. And Pato Alvarez was like that as well in Spain. And Pato just had, I have his book translated where he shares his whole training philosophy. I have the only English copy of that book, I think, in the world, because I had to pay someone thousands of dollars to translate it. And he also gave me a handout once with like all this tennis wisdom that he had printed out on sheets. So I have that. Like I keep it in a lock safe. No, I don't keep it in a lock safe, but I have it in my office, and I still refer to it because I love getting into the mind of Pato Alvarez. And I'm gonna reread his book soon because I think he has so much wisdom, and he's a very controversial figure. So some people sort of dismissed whatever he said because he was, he used to talk he used to talk a lot of smack. He'd be like, I'm the best coach in the world kind of talk. He didn't have talk about humility in Spain. He maybe didn't have the most humble nature, to be kind, but nevertheless, the guy was genius. He came up with all these X drills that you may have seen from Spain, and everyone around the world is doing that now. That's from the mind of Pato Alvarez. And Pato, interestingly, used to talk about. I could make 20 or 30 Prodigy Maker minutes on Pato Alvarez. Probably will in the coming months. But Pato Alvarez used to make his players work 30 minutes a day on the double rhythm, the doble ritmo, which is basically like a side shuffle along the X. So Pato believed in the X pattern of movement on the baseline, also the net and the midcourt. But basically his players had to work on their double rhythm, their shuffle step. Pato didn't like the crossover step or running steps for that matter. He liked the double rhythm. He had this obsession with the double rhythm, which is probably not his best choice. Like, looking back and retrospectively, probably he was probably not correct about the double rhythm. There's probably more efficient ways to move. Like modern studies of tennis players and their movements sort of disagree with the way Pato Alvarez used to teach his players how to move. But nevertheless, I like the idea of working on 30 minutes a day on a player's movement and positioning in relationship to the ball. So basically a player's relationship with the ball, working on adjusting, working on the eyes, the reading, and the adjusting and the positioning. That's basically what Pato did. He forced the double rhythm, which was maybe to his detriment, his mistake to do that, because modern sports science sort of is in conflict with that idea, because most players don't move with a double rhythm in the modern game. They move with kind of sprint footwork and crossovers and crossover recoveries and things like that. So he was probably wrong about that. But the idea of working on the eyes and the positioning daily, 30 minutes a day, for example, like he was a big believer in doing that repetition, 30 minutes a day. How many coaches around the U.S. do that? Work on the footwork and positioning of their players, on a regular basis, every day, on a daily basis. I would say probably not that many. And that is one of the things that makes they do very special in Spain. They're always whether they're working on it in the context of Pato Alvarez system, which is with the double rhythm, or the Bruguera system, which is more flexible and allows the player to use whatever steps they feel comfortable. Basically, all across Spain, this idea of working on movement and positioning and the eyes and the reading and getting the body in the best position with a good support system for hitting the shot, receiving the ball, and sending the ball. That became institutionalized all across Spain by pretty much every coach who got certified by the Royal Spanish Tennis Federation, and anyone who got a chance to model or learn from or mentor with, to get mentoring from Luis Bruguera or Pato Alvarez. Coaches all across Spain started working on that on a regular basis, and I think what you got like a whole army of Spanish players who moved great, had great fitness, and had superior footwork and positioning. They were in the optimal position more frequently than other professional players. And that's why Spanish players are still to this day very, very famous for their consistency. Because when you move optimally and you spend every day, every week working on getting in great position with your legs, you tend to hit the ball more solid and more consistently. So guys, Pato Alvarez, the great one, the legend in Spain, he believed in working on the double rhythm. He's probably mistaken about that, but what he got right was working on the movement, the footwork, and the positioning every day until the player is agile, beautiful mover, and basically never makes mistakes from the baseline. If you enjoyed this Prodigy Maker Minute, please check out my big show, The Prodigy Maker Show. It's available on this channel and all your favorite podcasting platforms. Also, guys, we're trying to get more subscribers, likes, and subscribes. Please share the show, share this channel with your friends, people who might like it, because we're trying to grow this YouTube community. So I appreciate that very much. Thanks, guys. See you on the next program.
Are you feeling yourself? Who compares? Nobody comes close. Too hot to the bread.